So I like to share some real life story tea from me, okay? So I've started seeing therapists, multiple. I've been speaking about therapists with things that I do not talk about on a regular, right? Um, I found out that I have a dangerous mind. A therapist advised me to give grace to the people that cause me murderous thoughts because it's not them, it's what's within me, right? And then she gave me a scripture. She reminded me that in the Bible it says a man who commits murder in his heart has already committed it, right? So that tells me that, okay, I'm a killer. I'm a killer. I am a killer. I am a killer. But I've never acted it out. So the big age that I'm at, um, to have a killer's mindset and not have ever acted it out, I do not believe that my strength receives enough credit, especially when it comes to self-discipline and what's it called, controlling myself, self-control. I have controlled myself thus far from not hurting a person physically, right? But what I did expose to her is that, regardless of what zodiac sign, what religion or spiritual basis I'm on, my mouth, my mouth, my mouth, when people be asking me like what that mouth do, it kills. This mouth can heal. This mouth can build people up. This mouth can push people to their greatest points of success. I've seen it. However, I'm very aware of the opposite, that my mouth can tear a person down. It can cause fires that don't come out. It can destroy, destruct, and demonize. If I was a liar, which I'm so grateful that I've been so strong enough to be like just dead ass honest, because I still have yet to meet anybody. And I don't think it's even going to exist in my lifetime, in my lineage. I have yet to meet anybody that's going to whoop my ass about the truth that I have to speak. My daddy literally tried it. Mama always hated it. Mama always popped me in the mouth. These are the things I expose to my therapist. Yes, my mama whooped my ass. I was the one that was the biggest receiver of physical attacks and verbal attacks, moreover, from both my parents. My dad realized that, like, when he stepped in to be dad, he can't whoop my ass. And then we went at it as adults. I have physically fought my own father. He would never whoop my ass. And I know that that is a way that most men receive or achieve what they believe to be conquering, is their strength over women, right? But they also very much so lack self-discipline or strength with controlling self. So me as a masculine woman, and I'm fine with being a masculine. People trying to make fun of me like, oh, you're a masculina. I like it. I like it because I do adore, love, appreciate, and respect righteous male energy. So it's never an insult when someone says, oh, you're real manly. It's quite a compliment in a way that I adore, because we lack real man energy on the planet anyway, in a lot of places. And I like being known as like a real nigga, a real man, or whatever you want to call it. I'm okay with that. People literally think that I'm a transsexual, and I'm fine with that. There's no insult there for me. However, this masculine portrayal of energy that I've developed is a protection and defense mechanism that I have learned through therapy, is because I need to reparent the little girl in me. Because the world has showed me through my little girlhood how unsafe I was in the hands of, beginning with my parents, who I consider narcissists. And I do believe that they may have built it up. They may have built up some narcissistic tendencies in myself, in me, their child. However, also, so that's just a little bit. I'm not going to give you everything. But then also we discussed the fact that I did have 4 fathers growing up. My mother did provide me with safe men in my life. So for me, so it's just, I'm trying to figure out, why do I have a murderous mindset against a group of people that I hate? I can honestly say this. I thought I was not walking around with hate in my heart for no being. But now it's come out in therapy that I hate, I detest, I begrudge, I have zero tolerance for male abuse against me, so to speak. And like women, they don't really get an opportunity to come this close to really. Women are not a challenge for me. Women are actually, they have tried. And there's no woman that I fear could really hurt me unless she got a weapon. You got to form a weapon against me as a woman. Because like I say, they really have tried. If y'all knew any of my story times, bitches, women, females have literally tried. But see, I don't feel like they have any power bigger than me because I don't know why I feel like that, but that's just how I feel. Okay, that's how I fucking feel. But when it comes to men, I've always had to fight to be innocent. I've always had to fight for my pretty. I've always had to defend it, not just being pretty, because what I have, everything that I have that you're looking on right now, this, I didn't get it from me. I didn't give this to myself. This is a gift and a curse that I've been blessed with and bestowed upon, and I have to be the one to know how to protect it and etc. Because in this revelation of these mannerisms of men, which people be trying to say the nature of men, this and that, and if it is in a man's nature to be so evil towards women, and I refuse to accept any of those in my life and in my world, or even from men around me, and I defend it and I attack it when it's around me, that makes me the monster, because it is very normal for women to just submit, let be, and give all of these crazy men grace, right? So I asked this therapist yesterday, why do I feel like offing people who hurt children, not just men, but women too, because they out there? Why do I want to hurt people who hurt children? She didn't really give me a why. But she said the solution to that is for me to give all these people grace. And I'm disgusted by that, because I feel like grace is a gift. I've learned through her definition of what grace is, I'm supposed to give these people grace. And that goes against everything in my spirit. So I guess that makes me the big bad demon, because I don't want to give men grace. I want to give them exactly the same pain that they've been delivering upon women and children and other men as well, especially against innocent men. I have this propensity to desire the devouring of monstrous men and women, because there's plenty of women who are very pedophiliac. And I hate that energy. And I don't want to hate anything. I'm not a hater naturally. However, with all of the protectiveness that I was downloaded, that was downloaded within me from the men in my world, and it didn't just come from my forefathers, like literally, no, like I've had one stepfather who passed when I was young. I've had my biological father come in when I was 8. I've had a really good stepfather from the age of 1 to 8. And then my mother remarried when I was in the teens, and she still provided me with a very great provisional, wealthy father who implemented really good things on me. That's literally 4 fathers. No grandfathers were really ever in the picture. The one I can't say were not in the picture. I visited them, but they had no hand in raising me because it was upon their children. So yeah. So anyway, I can tend to go on tangents and go off topic. Quite loquacious. I don't know why. But when it comes to these men, I asked if I have developed a toxic masculinity within me from being over-fathered, because no one talks about when you're over-provided certain energies. They always focus on the lack. They look at women and do the lack of the father this, the lack of the father that. But what I don't hear enough in society is what happens to the girls who have too many men in her life protecting her. There was many more parts to that, but she also went to call me a soldier. And I think she did a beautiful thing with me, because she got out some energies that I was even aware of. However, with me having this soldier energy, why is it not okay to be that? Why am I being told that it's so wrong to be that? Because in the world of men, that it's okay to be soldiers, the general idea of a female soldier is still shunned. I'm like, well, I know I might be unique, but who's to say that my uniqueness is negative? Men, that's who to say. Mostly men, and a lot of pick-me women want to develop the same mindset that these women do. But it makes me want to go into psychology myself and self-dissect me in order to more protect me and to find out what is really effed up with me. Because a lot of people think I didn't have no fathers, but the thing is, I've had an overload of fathers to where but it's weird because some people think also that I hate men. So I asked my therapist, like, okay, so why do people think I hate men? Just because I'm very defensive in areas where people just let men run over them.